Good morning, good morning. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless, and I'm back with another episode. All right. Yeah, man. Uh happy Friday, peace and blessings. Man, it's freezing out here, you know. But what else is new? So had to warm up the truck right quick before I can cut it off so y'all can hear me clearly because I don't want to have too much noise in the background as much as possible, eliminate the noise as much as I can, be it as, at work it tend to get a little noisy. But now, and as the title says, my thoughts on the Candace Owens and Erika Kirk mess. And it is a mess, right? So I've been looking at plenty different um, other trusted podcasters um, that I tend to trust their judgment on things and look at different clips and formulate my own narrative because I really try to stay away from this situation uh, as it is an ongoing investigation. Uh, as you know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated live, 3 months ago, uh, giving a speech at a college or university in Utah. So we all saw that, right? And ever since then, Candace Owens has been doing several videos, basically, trying to uncover the truth behind what actually happened to Charlie Kirk. Even though there is a man in custody that was arrested, a young man. Many believe that he wasn't working alone or wasn't able to pull it off alone and all that. And Candace Owens thinks that somebody else is behind it. And, she's insinuated Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister or president of Israel. And she's insinuated that Charlie Kirk's friends and family, uh, you could say that their family, his TPUSA organization, were acting funny and have something to do with it. She's made a lot of insinuations of many other people. I tended to stop watching Candace maybe about when that happened in September. I watched Candace for maybe the month of September regularly as it pertained to this topic, and I kind of faded out. Once the guy got arrested and things of that nature, and I kind of faded out because at that moment, just from my standpoint, it's out of the public's hands. Once the authorities get involved, the investigation has to ensue, and you just let the police do their job. From that point, they got somebody in custody. Um, Now, when Candace first started to do these videos, day after day after day after day, she said in the beginning, there are two people that if they told me to stop, I would stop doing this. As far as, you know, giving commentary on Charlie Kirk's uh unaliving and just step away from it. Stop, trying to figure out what happened. And she said that those two people were her husband and Erika Kirk, which is Charlie Kirk's wife. Now, before we continue, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. My condolences to his wife, his children, his mother, his father, his friends and family. My condolences to Candace Owens, because I know that they had a special relationship. They were real tight friends. If they were friends at the moment he passed or it been a while, it don't matter. Everybody involved that knew the man, hey, that was a terrible way to a tragic way to lose somebody. So rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and my deepest condolences to everybody that was affected by his loss. That is the right thing to say, whether you agree or disagree with his stance on things. The man was just speaking his opinion. I'm not gonna dive off to that because I see, man, social media really has desensitized a lot of people's humanity. Social media has really desensitized our understanding and, our capacity to feel for those as it pertains to the loss of life, like all of this is kind of like performative to me. And that's why I stepped away from it, because I'm going to side with Erika Kirk on this situation. I'm going to side with her on this, and this is just my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that Candace is wrong. I'm not saying she's right. I don't know. But to come out here and to constantly insinuate people in a situation with no evidence presented, with an ongoing investigation, it's like you trying to try this case in the court of public opinion. I do not agree with the court of public opinion. Now, we might not always feel confidence in the judicial system, but you have to let the process play out. This just happened a few months ago. You haven't even gave enough time for the process to play out. Now, if Candace wanted to continue to do her commentary, I don't think it's necessary at this point. But it's a free country. Do what you want to do. I think you have said everything that you need to be said and more in the past 3 months, as it pertains to who you think is involved, because at this point, people are receiving all type of threats on their life, and the guy Tim Pool, he came out and was going at Candace real heavy. Like, man, what you're doing is separating the Republican Party, the conservative party, splitting it in two with this issue, right? And he was going in on the call all type of, names and all that. And the next thing you know, his house or his studio got shot up. Like, this is what we dealing with. Like, it's getting way out of hand. I never knew that the conservatives, got into it with each other to disagree with houses and stuff like that getting aired out. And I'm not saying this got nothing to do with Candace. I'm just saying, like, why are y'all arguing? Like, for all the Republicans and the conservatives that's listening, think about this. Go back 2 years ago from now, before Charlie Kirk, the whole situation, we still had Joe Biden in office and how bad it was. I think we tend to forget where we got a short attention span, where we don't remember what bad shape this country was placed in 3-4 years ago, and how we were sitting back just looking like, man, if we had Trump in office, wouldn't none of this be going on? We wouldn't have these open borders. This inflation wouldn't be out of control like this. I mean, it really took a lot of time to get the country to be as bad as it has gotten, to where Trump got to come in and do a whole bunch of cleanups before he could get to the good part, and how hard y'all fought to make that happen. Now, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and I'm not even going to entertain a thought that that man's still alive. We all seen blood gushing out that man's neck on TV. People right there saw the man drop, hit the floor. I'm not even going to entertain that. But I'm just going to say this. When that man was shot and assassinated on national television, they did a wonderful ceremony. You would think that that would bring the conservative movement closer together. Like, man, you know, we out here getting assassinated for our opinion. You feel me? We out here getting assassinated for our opinion, which we pretty much share the same views. That man wasn't doing nothing but speaking at universities about how he viewed the world. Whether you agree or disagree, you know, this is what he got assassinated for. So you mean to tell me everybody else, after he was unalive, you think, see, my thing is, what would the man that was assassinated, this is, everybody forgot about him. What would you think he would want? Would you think he would want, do you think Charlie Kirk would want Candace Owens to do what she's doing right now? Like, she's insinuating that his organization, TPUSA, is responsible. She done went from BB Netanyahu to France to now TPUSA. His organization members are responsible. I think it's a thing called boundaries, healthy boundaries, right? Like, even if Candace Owens is correct in her assumptions and her insinuations, what do you expect to happen on YouTube? I mean, even if she's correct, what if TPUSA got something to do with it? Allegedly. The court of public opinion can't convict them or acquit them. Why won't you? This is what I would do. If I'm really sincere, see, this would make me question it. Because if you really sincerely want to help your friend and find out what happened to him, and you believe all this other stuff, and despite, you know, what happened that we saw, and then the police got this guy in custody, if you believe there's more to the story, I would think you would move in silence and secrecy. I think you would put together in silence instead of tipping off the whole, because you got the biggest, make no mistake, you got the biggest platform on the planet. Tens of millions of views each episode. People are more entertained than they are being informed. We live in the age of entertainment via social media. But in the grand scheme of things, what could you possibly get accomplished by being on YouTube with your investigation? Now, when Erika Kirk came out, she been quiet since her husband was assassinated. A lot of people want to say, man, she seemed like she fake. She seemed like this. Man, all of that is assumptions. What we do know is that she lost her husband and the father of her two infant children live on television. If you never lost nobody close to you in a tragic way, I don't think you fully understand. Or if you have lost someone in a tragic way, I think you forgot how you felt when that happened. You know, the respect for loss of life. Put all the conspiracies to the side and all this and all that. That woman and her children and his parents and his friends deserve the presumption of innocence, first of all, because all these insinuations that they had something to do with it is crazy. But also, they deserve the right to grieve in peace. You know what real grief is? I don't think people understand when someone is grieving somebody. That man was only 31 years old. His children are infant. They'll never know what it's like to have a father in their life. They probably won't even remember half the memories that they had with their dad because they so young. That right there alone, when Erika Kirk went and said, they asked her, what would you say to Candace Owens that's coming up with all these conspiracies and all this and that? And she said, just stop. That right there would have been like, Candace would have been like, hey, man, y'all know how I feel. I would have did one last episode saying how I know how I feel and y'all know what it is, but I'm going to honor what I said from day one. If my husband or Erika Kirk tell me to stop, I'm going to stop. But what did Candace do? See, Candace is she's very she is one of those people that are so intelligent. They are so, like, when people are as intelligent as Candace Owens is, they could be very manipulative. Allegedly. They could be very manipulative. You said out your own mouth from day one, if Erika Kirk told you to stop, you would just shut it down. Erika Kirk wasn't disrespectful. She didn't mince any words. She said, these are my family. TPUSARR family. They deeper than friends. And you insinuating that they had something to do with the unaliving of my husband, and you're wrong. Any information that we come across that we think would be a lead or anything, we give it to the proper authorities. And that is the correct thing to do with an ongoing investigation. While you got a suspect that's already apprehended, let the police do what's wrong with people that just let police do their jobs in the age of the internet? Everybody think they McGruff the crime fighting dog. Everybody think that they're a private investigator. And you might well be. But you have to respect the family, man. You have to respect, it's just right is right, wrong is wrong, man. Put yourself in Erika Kirk's shoes. If you a man and you just, like, Candace, how would you feel hypothetically if something like this happened to you and somebody was just constantly talking about your husband that was unalive? Hopefully, praying nothing happened. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if you were going through the same thing and somebody with the biggest platform on earth just kept insinuating people that you know and love, you trying to come to grips with the fact that your husband gone, but every day, you getting all these messages and people hit you with death threats. And I know Candace has been hit with death threats, but she brought that on herself for opening her mouth. Candace, shut up. Just shut up. Take your investigation behind the scenes. If you still want to investigate it, now I'm questioning your motive. Because once again, what do you gain from exposing all this on YouTube? If anything, if any of it is accurate, you just tipped off the perpetrators or people that could be involved. You giving away too much information. Put your investigation together behind the scenes. but you giving it for the YouTube. I mean, it don't make no sense, bro. And you should honor what you said. If Erika Kirk or your husband told you to stop, because trust me, if I was your husband, you'd have stopped 2 months ago. I'd have been like, come on, man, leave that alone. Leave that alone. I mean, I don't. That's why I don't watch it, because it started to become performative. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather listen to people that actually stick on to the topics that really matter. You know, it's certain platforms that I listen to faithfully because they bring information. You know, this is starting to become like a reality show, and you got to be careful when you throwing people into a trick bag where you got people thinking that they had something to do with the unaliving of somebody else, and you got sick people out here. And another thing, this is dividing the conservative movement. It's very divisive. You know, we got midterms coming up around the corner, and this is a major distraction at this point. I mean, you got people sitting there arguing back and forth about who unalived Charlie Kirk when the FBI got, I mean, I saw, what's his name? Tucker Carlson. He said, well, the FBI got to convince us it's their job to let us know everything that's going on. Yeah, I hear you, Tucker, but at the same time, you ain't gave them FBI enough time to do nothing. The man just got unalived 3 months ago. The court case now, if you want to wait for the court case to go through, and then you get the transcripts and you go through it through the transcripts with a fine-tooth comb, and now you got something to base it on. It ain't nothing. I mean, in this microwave society, we have zero patience, man. We want things immediately, and it don't work like that. We got the World Wide Web at our fingertips. And a lot of times, you know what, when you Google stuff, even though it's Google and AI and all that, that be wrong. You still got to go in and do your own investigation, do your own research to really uncover the truth. So you're going to have to give this process time, bro. And if the widow of the slain say, hey, please stop, just stop. Out of respect, because you would want the same courtesy or respect shown to you. But hey, y'all tell me what y'all think, man. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all. And until next time, we should see you soon. Peace and blessings.